Warren Buffett, if you can't communicate and talk to other people and get across your ideas, you're giving up your potential. Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to be tackling the art of small talk. And I will be sharing with you 5 effective tips on how you can improve your conversation skills. Effective communication is key in every and all areas of your life. As a matter of fact, opportunities, relationships, successful careers, and new adventures are all created and maintained with the help of effective and strong communication. But hey, it all has to start somewhere, and it all begins with small talk. I would first like to start off with the big bada boom overall picture, meaning the 4 golden rules of small talk. Listen up, take notes. Numero uno. And the most important one, king of kings, queen of queens, you name it, and that is observation. I strongly believe that if you master observing and interpreting people's body language, body posture, tone of voice, their attire, their eye contact, their mannerisms, and just everything about their presence, you will be more apt to make statements, to make relevant observations, and to ask the right questions at the right time. Now, the perks of small talk is that it's a skill. You can acquire it and perfect it with practice. What I would recommend that you do if you're not so good at observing and reading people is you can just start off by playing a game with your friends and look at random people in the street and be with your friends. Hey, how would you small talk that person over there? What is the first thing you would just go directly and say to them? The second golden rule of small talk is active listening. Some people are so nervous that after they just pitch their one-liner and ask that question, they go blank. They're like, yes, I broke the ice. This is it. I'm doing it. And then the person's like, and you? And you're all like, huh? And then it turns awkward, which we don't want. So it's a dance. Listen to what the person say. Why? Because the next golden rule is curiosity. So listen with the intent not to respond, but to pick out what makes you curious about the other person, what you find interesting about them, what you just want to find out more. And the final point, which ties into this, is honesty. Don't be fake. Don't ask questions just because it's an easy question to ask. Be honest about what interests you. So if a person mentions something about, I don't know, astrology, and that's how they answer your question, oh, well, I'm a Virgo, so that's why I do, I don't know, that. You're like, I'm interested in astrology. Like that, we found something in common. So keep those 4 golden rules in mind, and let's move on with the rest of the video. Number 2, conversation starters. The first one is the easiest in my opinion, and those are environmental specific statements. Meaning you use your surrounding, whether it's the venue or the event or objects or even people around you as anchors to break the ice. I strongly believe that this is probably the hardest thing to do in small talk, is to initiate a conversation, is to go to a random stranger and just try to say something that will make them talk to you. I mean, it's quite intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. If you're I don't know, at a wedding and there's a buffet and you see someone you want to talk to and they pick up a cake, go to the person and just literally be next to them and be like, if you like desserts, you really should try the souffle. It is out of this world. Come on, let's get some. Number 2, compliments. These are a tiny bit tricky because sometimes they come off as just weird. I mean, if you're in a professional setting and I'm a dude or a lady and I compliment a vice VP CEO, wow, that dress or that suit looks stunning on you. They'd be like, okay, what are your intentions, lady? I would personally advise that you make compliments that are more related to the person's personality or intellect or something like more deep than just face value. I know these are harder, but that is why, side tip, I encourage you, if you can, if it is at all possible, to do some digging on, like, let's say the person you would like to start a conversation with, if it's like at an event or in a workplace setting, so you can have some intel on what you can say to them and what you can compliment them on. Or if they're doing something like giving a presentation, giving a talk, or let's say you're in a classroom and you want to talk to the girl next to you because she looks cool and you want her to be your friend. Just number one, observe what is she doing. If her like binder is super organized and like she just looks like a organized person, compliment that. Another icebreaker is strange questions. This one was mentioned by a YouTuber I really admire. His name is Alpha M. I think his real name is Aaron, but basically he used the liner, "What's your story?" So you go to someone and you're like, "So, what's your story?" It's just such an interesting opener, I find, and I really wanted to mention it and give him some props because I thought that was genius. I never tried it, but I found it interesting. If someone would have asked me that, I would be like, wow, I've never heard that before. That is pretty amazing. Instead of, "So, what do you do for a living? So, did you see the rain out there? Man, it was pouring." I mean, mind you, you can use those, but those are pretty basics. I find that strange questions, tasteful, strange questions, make you appear more interesting, and I think the person is more likely to reply something interesting back to you, which will feed the small talk tangle back and forth type of thing. The last icebreaker I want to mention is called statement and question. So you make an observation and then you ask a question to just kind of like pull the discussion and just put the ball in the other person's court. I heard this professor really likes giving sports examples. How's your basketball knowledge? Mine's pretty rusty. Moving on to the core of this video because I got a bit sidetracked. Number 3 is the silence gap. I strongly believe that this is kind of a trap or a piège where most people freak out and feel this need to fill the silence with blabber, and that's when we don't think and we say random stuff that make no sense, and then we look like use the silence breaks in between the small talk conversation to interpret what the other person is thinking or what they want to do. Again, observation, told you that one would be important. Man, should have listened from the beginning, huh? Notice their body language. If they have one foot in front of the other, arms crossed, or just like their body like contorted and some like they're trying to listen to you but like their body's pointing another way, that means they're trying to get away. So don't force it, let them go gracefully. Give them a chance to leave. That also makes a good influence on a good impact on someone, knowing when to let them go. It's called politeness and respect. So read into that. Or for example, if you're trying to get a date and the person is just like really shy but smiling and kind of like, "Come on, say more stuff to me because I'm too shy so I can't initiate a talk, but it's up to you." Read those, pick up on those subtle cues to know what to do next. Number 4, draw the other one out. This is a small tip, but I believe strongly important. People love to talk about themselves. So give them opportunities to voice out their opinion, what they think, what their favorite is. There's more ammo that you can use, active listening, to find something in common. Because when you do, trust me, the bond is sealed, man, and it's smooth sailing from them on. Finally, the last point is the close. I cannot tell you how often I had a really cool conversation with someone and then, like, midway, they just left. Having a good close is just as important as having a good icebreaker. And it's super easy to close. Just use "I need." That's it. Listen, it was really cool talking to you, but I need to go before traffic starts. Just make sure that you leave some trace behind on how the person can reach you or can get into contact with you. Just Here's my card. We should do this again sometimes. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to me if you like what you see, because I post videos every Thursday. And if you have trouble with reading people, communicating, and winning over people, I have 2 book recommendations at the end of this video for those that stuck around. Number 1 is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the second one is Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. If you want me to do future book recommendations at the end of videos, give this one a thumbs up so I know, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!